It's just 4 days until Election Day. I voted in the riding of York Centre 4 months ago. That was going to be a slam dunk to get rid of Yara Sachs, the self-hating Jew who embraced the Palestinian terrorist Mahmoud Abbas. I still think she's going to lose to Roman Baber, the former provincial PC, who was booted out of Doug Ford's party because he very carefully and very politely questioned COVID mania. But now it's going to be very close. I'm pleased to say that our third party group, For Canada, has deployed the truck in that neighborhood. And just today I did a robocall, a personal message I recorded and sent to the entire riding by phone. Hopefully that will make a dent. It's close though, but I don't think it's as bleak as the media makes it out to be. There really is an information operation going on right now. Did you see this story in the Globe and Mail? Headline, Poilievre may lose his Ottawa area riding as Liberals poised to sweep the region. Really? Is that true? I mean, Poilievre has been MP there for ages. He probably knows everybody. Last election, he won by 20%. I checked, and that district, Carleton, has voted Conservative every single time since Confederation, with the exception of a 2-year Liberal MP in the 60s. Sir John A. Macdonald was an MP there once. I'm not saying that can't change, but you tell me what you think of this. Let me quote from the story. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is at risk of losing his Ottawa area riding as the party scrambles to send in volunteers to save the seat he has held since 2004, 2 federal and 2 provincial Conservative sources say. Provincial? I'll come back to that. The Globe is not identifying the Conservative sources, 2 of whom are from the Ontario Progressive Conservative Party, because they were not authorized to discuss the Conservative campaign or internal polling. Really? So the Ontario PCs, you mean Doug Ford, who has been publicly undermining Pierre Poilievre for weeks. Is that a news story? Oh, and what a surprise, the Toronto Star is running the identical story, and they put 4 reporters on the case. 4, you can see for yourself. Let me read a little bit from their story. Conservatives pour resources into Pierre Poilievre's riding amid fears of a tight race. The federal Conservatives are funneling resources into Pierre Poilievre's local campaign, shoring up volunteer support in the leader's Ottawa area riding over concerns that winning a seat is not guaranteed, the Star has learned. It's not guaranteed, says the Star. 4 reporters to tell you that little truth. Yeah, no win is guaranteed. It's a democratic election. But look at this from way down in the story. This is the 9th paragraph down. The Signal, the Star's polling aggregator, has listed Carleton as a safe seat for the Conservatives. What? But they wrote the story anyways. They just buried the truth of it 9 paragraphs down. So why would the Globe and Mail and the Toronto Star go so huge on this rumor? It's not even a rumor. It's an accusation. It's a speculation from anonymous sources in bad faith. I mean, the Ontario Tories have, for some reason, tried to destabilize Pierre Poilievre since the beginning. This story even contradicts the Star's own polling analysis. What are they doing here? Well, they're doing it to demoralize Conservative voters, of course. If Pierre Poilievre will lose, what's the point in continuing? If the polls are so huge for Mark Carney, what's the point? Why even bother to vote? Be downbeat. Stop campaigning. Stop door knocking. Just give up. It's a psyop, a psychological operation. Of course, the regime media couldn't be happier to participate. They understand what's going on. Which is interesting, because every single poll I've seen is narrowing. Remember the other day I showed you the latest 10 polls. Well, let me show you the 3 polls that came out yesterday. You can see for yourself, Wikipedia, you always have to double check Wikipedia, but for things like this, they're useful. They have every single poll just aggregated. And you can see that Nanos and Mainstream and an innovative research group, they had 3 polls, those 3 companies yesterday. Nanos and Mainstream both show pretty much the same. Conservatives at 40 and Liberals at 43. An innovative research group actually puts the 2 parties in a tie at 38% each. That's quite a difference from 43 for the Liberals. Innovative research group is also a bit different in that it puts the NDP at 12%, which is higher than most other pollsters do. These polls are within the margin of error now. The difference between the Conservatives and the Liberals is close enough that the polls are essentially tied. It's the closest things have been in a month. This is a chart of all the polls, every single one. It's the first time you can see that the gray band of confidence is touching. This is statistical tie, first time in a month. And the trend, as you can see over the past week or so, is towards the Conservatives. Has been for more than a week. You could call that momentum. And we still have 4 days to go. Now, I'm not getting ahead of myself. I'm still pessimistic. But it's clear that Mark Carney peaked too soon. And it's clear the media is doing everything they possibly can to prop up Carney and knife Poilievre in the back. Anyways, let me tell you another story. As you know, I started a third-party group called For Canada. I've registered with Elections Canada. We've made tons of ads and memes and videos and radio ads, and mainly the billboard truck. That's the big thing we've used. And those robocalls I mentioned. We try to get the best bang for the buck. So we had ads in Western Standard and Juno and Counter Signal, and I'm forgetting some. We did a ton of stuff, radio. And my rule of thumb that I said when we launched this was that I didn't want to just copy what Pierre Poilievre was doing. What's the point of that? I wanted to talk about things that even he wouldn't or couldn't. And obviously the biggest taboo in Canadian politics, transgenderism is one of them, but talking honestly about immigration is another one. So for our final hurrah, on Saturday, 2 days from now, we contacted the National Post newspaper and got a quote for a full-page, full-cover ad to be run nationwide in all their editions in their front section. I was very excited about it. With tax, it was low 5 figures. So that's a lot of dough to spend on one ad, but we thought it was worth it, and I was very excited about it. And I thought, well, let's talk about immigration. It's on everybody's mind. But still, few politicians are willing to talk candidly about it. It is a global issue, by the way. Just today, Nigel Farage, who's actually in first place in most UK polls, he came out with a pretty tough immigration platform that's quite bracing. Here, let me show you just a minute or two of it.
We will demand, this government does the same, that there is a minister for deportations. It will be part of the Home Office, but it'll be a separate department within it. We will need to recruit new people, as much of the evidence is that those that currently work in the Home Office would willfully obstruct policy if we won the next general election. But somebody somewhere in government needs to be held accountable. And you know, you've only got to go back 20 years to the last Labour government, and they were deporting tens of thousands of people a year who were here illegally. When Blunkett was Home Secretary, if you came illegally, you didn't touch the sides. You were sent back. So what I'm calling for isn't actually anything particularly radical. It's actually just common sense. It's what most countries in the world do. You want to go and live there, you want to go and settle there, you have to meet a set of criteria. And that country chooses, are you the right person or are you not?
So that's the UK. And on Saturday, there's going to be a huge rally against mass immigration in Ireland. And of course, it's a big issue in France and Germany and Austria and the Netherlands. And of course, it was the single most important campaign promise that Donald Trump made that put him over the top in the United States. So why can't we talk about it here too? So that's what we decided here. We made an ad about immigration entitled, "Mass Immigration is on the Ballot." The Canada we know is being obliterated by mass immigration. I'll read the ad. 1 million foreign workers drive down wages, taking entry-level jobs away from Canadians. 1 million foreign students pay cash to fake diploma mills and never leave. Housing prices, hospital waiting lines, even traffic. We're in a crime wave as foreign gangs pillage our high-trust society. Anti-Semitic hate marches. Mark Carney plans to bring in thousands more migrants from Gaza. No one voted for mass immigration, but on Monday, you can vote against it. And then we had the required information for Canada. I like that ad. It's not perfect, but it's a good ad, I think. Get people talking a bit. So we sent it in, assuming it would be good to go. While we were finishing up with the pictures, we sent in all the words to their compliance lawyers. And we received a letter back. Let me read that to you. And I'm not going to tell you who sent it to us. I don't want to embarrass anyone in particular. But let me show you the letter we got from Postmedia's lawyers. Based on Postmedia's political advertising business rules and approval process, this ad would likely be rejected for several reasons. Content analysis. False accusations. The ad makes several claims that could be considered false or misleading, such as foreign workers driving down wages and foreign students attending fake diploma mills. Exploitation of fear. The ad exploits fear by linking immigration to crime waves and anti-Semitic hate marches. Targeting specific groups. The ad targets specific groups, foreign workers, foreign students, migrants from Gaza, in a negative manner, which is against the guidelines. Comparative advertising. The ad indirectly compares the impact of foreign workers and students to Canadians, which is not allowed. Not allowed says who? Labeling and compliance. Labeling. The ad does include the required labels, paid political advertisement, and authorized by For Canada. Compliance checklist. The ad fails to meet several items on the compliance checklist, including fact-based opinions and avoiding prohibited content. Conclusion. Given the above points, the ad does not comply with Postmedia's rules and regulations and would likely be rejected. So we showed them the preliminary version. Now, first of all, I've read this letter a few times now. I think it was generated by artificial intelligence, by some AI engine, because it's just too weird. Now, the salesman claims he wanted the sale, and I went back and forth with him a bit. I offered to footnote all the claims by citing authoritative sources, including the National Post itself or Statistics Canada. I insisted that the ad was an opinion, and I could add a few wiggle words in there to emphasize that it was an opinion, but we went back and forth a little bit, and it was clear that the Post lawyers, or the AI pretending to be a lawyer, wasn't allowing it.